Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Welcome to Muhammad and Friends. I'm your host for this particular show, Brother Mandene T. Muhammad, sitting in for our host, Brother Jamil Muhammad, who's still under the weather. Pray Allah continue to heal that brother for him to get well soon. This is an interactive show. You can call in 773-434-6625 to speak to myself and our guest for today. If you're social medially inclined, you can check us out simply by following us on Facebook, liking us and following us. Also on YouTube, subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, Crow TV, where you can always be alerted whenever we have a show. And of course, as our parents always taught us, sharing is caring, so please share the broadcast just in case someone wants to view it at a later time, or you may want to go back and check it out yourself. No telling, it's Father's Day, or what they say, big piece of chicken day for those that have strived so hard in this day and time. But Father's Day, just like Mother's Day, should be every day. So I want to say that. I want to, I don't speak a lot about my own father, but he was a good man. George White, and wasn't white. He was black as an ace of spade. But I still wish I got a little of that melanin from him, but I do got his big nose. But, I didn't know a real, true example of fatherhood until I came into the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And, as a brother by the name of Munir Muhammad, who definitely, led by example. And I'm truly forever indebted to this brother for being a true example of a man and a defender of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It's because of him I'm able to even sit in this seat right now, because of the example and what he's done on behalf of this organization, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, black people, and what he's done for me personally. So I'm forever grateful for this opportunity. So again, the number to call in is 773-434-6625. We're just going to have, as they say, a little fireside chat. My first guest today is my brother, someone who I grew up with in this work, in his teachings, Brother Ahmeer Majied. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, brother.
How you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
I think this has to be a first, whether TV or radio, brother. We talk all the time.
Yes, sir.
But this is our first time actually sitting down, getting it on record.
Yes, sir.
So,
that is correct.
How's everything?
Everything is doing great, brother. Praise be to Allah.
Praise due to Allah. Like I said, we just shooting from the hip, man.
Yes,
We've been doing this for a while, but you have been on my mind. I know we're going into different phases in life, new responsibilities, new things that we're doing, but the common denominator is still Crow in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I just wanted to be able to to actually get this on record and talk to you.
Yes, sir.
And I'm looking forward to the conversation. Before we get into it, I mentioned on radio, shameless plug again, if it's Tuesday night, we're elevating the conversation on Elevated Talk. So on the Talk Chicago, WVON 1690 AM, Elevated Talk with me, Brother Mandene Muhammad, and my co-host, Brother Emmanuel Omar. So make sure you check us out each and every Tuesday at 9 p.m. But brother, let's get all the fluff questions out the way. How long you been a member of Crow now, man?
I've been a member of Crow since 1992.
1992.
That's when I became, when I called the number on Ashland, and I was directed to the address they had just moved on. It was actually, I think, May of 1992.
Man,
they had moved here.
Were you, because I think you got a year or two on me, were you already in school at Harold Washington at that time?
I was. I think I did a semester there.
Just one?
Just once. I did one semester at South Suburban, then I transferred to Harold Washington.
Because I don't think we ever crossed paths at Harold Washington, did we?
No, I think maybe you had just stopped going when I was going.
Did
you go there when Musil was there?
I did.
Yeah, we just didn't cross paths.
I did. I went there when he was there. I went there during the time where they were still giving out those Pell Grants. So I was, I was really what I like to call a professional student.
Yes,
they was paying us to go to school, so I was getting those checks. And we did have a teacher. I think she had Miss Sanders was her name, the typing teacher. Mm-hmm. And the more classes you had, the bigger your check was.
Yes, sir.
And I was failing that.
Yes, sir.
that typing class miserably.
Yes, sir.
Miss Sanders took me to the side. She said, "Baby, you need to drop my class. You're not gonna pass this." And I told her, "Miss Sanders, I need this class for my check, you know." So,
Yeah, when you cash that check and then drop the class.
that's it.
Yeah, yes,
So
sir.
she said, "Well, you need to go. You need to be in that typing lab, then, you know, practicing every day." But I think you just started on your writing journey. I mean, how did you get into writing?
You know what? I took a class at South Suburban right out of high school. I took a creative writing class, and that was one of the few classes I did pretty good in. And so then when I got to Harold Washington, I took Miss Sanders' class, and I forgot. I don't even remember how I got. I started working on the school newspaper there. There's a school newspaper called the Herald.
Right.
And I think maybe it might have been part of one of my classes, or the teacher that was over the newspaper at the time. Miss Sanders ended up taking it over.
Right.
But it was another lady, and that's how I started. I started writing for the school newspaper, and then I think once a week or once a month, I can't remember, we would go to Eastern Illinois, and they printed the paper. And that's how I started, and they kind of made me like the public relations person for the paper. And
did you wonder how you got in that position?
Yeah, I didn't ask for the job, and that's how I started. I would write the articles, and they would have me go around the school and ask people different questions about the school, and that was basically it.
Yeah. So how did you run into Crow?
I ran into Crow. I read Indigo magazine, and it was an article on Malcolm X on the cover of the magazine, and then on the inside it was The Road Less Traveled. It was an article about Crow, and what caught my interest was that they said they had audio and videotapes on Malcolm X, the Nation of Islam, Muhammad Ali, and things of that nature. And then, as you know, during that time, black consciousness was pretty popular. You know, everybody were into their blackness, wearing African leather medallions, or some brothers had fezzes on. And so that caught my interest. I came to Crow. I got a couple videotapes. I liked the videotapes I got. I think I came back. I think I ended up buying a T-shirt. And not long after that, I was invited, like it was just sort of like the thing with the newspaper. I was invited to go to Malcolm X College for the other thing.
So who was the first person that you came in contact with? I mean, did you call first? Or you just
I
came
think
in?
I called first, and then that's how I found out it was located here. And I think the first person I talked to was Brother Mandene when I came through the door. And he asked me, where did I get that name from? Because I had the name Ahmeer
That sounds
already.
like a question people ask.
He said, where did you get that name from? You know, and I told him, you know, how I got the name. And he sold me the tapes. And then I think I might have came like 2 or 3. I think only my 3rd visit, he invited me to come with the brothers out there to Malcolm X College for the debate about the movie.
Yes, sir.
And the rest is history. I've been here ever since.
So was it the Malcolm X debate? Was it his example on there that kind of hooked you, or
yeah,
what was it?
It was Brother Maneer's his seriousness and his command of the knowledge he had, and compared to the other people on the panel. You know, I knew he had a greater knowledge of what he was talking about, and he was more serious about what he was talking about, that I just said, man, I'm gonna give this a shot. This guy's serious about what he's doing. I'm gonna try this out, try to, you know, see where this takes me.
Yeah, because the way when you think about it, and when you think back to the panel, it's almost like most of the people on there really didn't have no connection to Malcolm other than they were just basically a fan.
Right. I think 2 of them were funeral parlor owners. I'm not gonna name them, but you know, it just was it was a unique panel. You would think they would be like nationalists.
Right.
I think only 1 or 2 of them might have been like nationalists,
Right.
or what they called at the time Malcolmites. But they were just, it was a wide variety of people.
Yeah,
people
you
like
being
that.
kind.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that and I'll be honest with you, it wasn't the Malcolm X thing so much. It was a brother that went there. I can't think of his name.
Andre.
Andre.
There's a brother named Andre.
Andre was there, and he, his defense, and he wasn't necessarily a member. He just started coming around. I think he may have been processing at the mosque or something, but he was just, he just showed that Brother Munir had allies in the audience that was vocal. And it was his dissertation, but it was his death that actually shook me up, you know. I was like, so I was like, man, you know, because it was shortly after that, so I was like, I want to make sure I go out defending, and I want to, you know, I want to make sure I'm doing right.
Yeah, and legend has it. That's I remember them saying. I don't know if it was true, but the brother was saying he was arguing with his family about the teachings when he made his transition.
When he had a heart attack, sure it was. You refreshed my memory, and that's why I was telling someone that you remember a lot of things that happened and was involved, and that's the beauty of being able to go back and reflect on that history, man. So, but you know, so here we are, and it's been decades since you and I have both been here and doing this work. So, how did it come about with you in the production team?
Well, as you probably remember, for the audience, we had another brother that was a member at the time, and he was producing some shows, and it wasn't until our good Sister Kim Muhammad discovered some deceptive practices he was doing.
Some technology that was going on.
Some technology where he fixed it where I think you and the other brother only could work the camera and he could be the producer instead of making everybody be a producer. And so upon that discovery, that brother was dismissed. And then I think myself, Sister Kim, I don't remember who else, but that brother was dismissed, and that's how we began doing our own shows down there. And then, like I said, I just stumbled into it. Just I tell just from being around, you know, being around and wanting to be involved. I wanted to be involved, and I think that's the key with anything. You're gonna be successful. You got to want to be involved. You know.
Yeah. And I agree wholeheartedly, and you definitely have shown that throughout the years. And you were a brother that we all could rely on, you know. And you know, I know I was a late bloomer as far as learning how to drive, so I think I must have caught a ride from every member in Crow, one way or the other. But you would come on up the street in that Chevy was it what kind of Chevette, and to the dismay of some of the little children, when they would hear your car coming, they would do like this, you know, because it was so loud. But it got us to where we was going, even to when we was coming out west from the west side one time. We couldn't really get enough speed to get on the expressway. We had to get off and get back on about 3 or 4 times.
I remember that, yes sir.
But you were a brother, you saved your buddy, you got you another car, and I think I learned how to drive later on. So I mean, but that's one thing about it. You wasn't extravagant like us, you know, like some of the other brothers. You saved your money, and you knew you took lessons. You were doing that before Brother Munir would drop those type of lessons on us, you know, as far as being frugal with your money and it not being a sale unless you need it. You know, so it's just those are just some of the things. But brother, I mean, that type of dedication. What made you that type of dedicated brother? I mean, were you always like that? Were you someone that your family could depend on?
Yeah, I've always been pretty dependable with my family, but I think it upticked with the once I got the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because I was dipping and dabbing in some other stuff I didn't have no business dipping and dabbing in. But even the situation with the car, that goes back to Brother Mandene, because the reason the car was loud like that, the back had got smashed in one night. And I called Brother Mandene. I said, man, this guy just ran into the back of me, and I knew he had been in the insurance business. So he showed me how to go about, I got the money for the car, they totaled it, But my thing was if it's starting up, I'm gonna drive it.
Yeah.
You know, so I continued to drive it till
Till
the wheels fell off.
It's
As
like
they
no
say.
mas.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It looks like when we got a caller. So
Okay.
again, the number is 773-434-6625 to talk to my brother Ahmeer Majied. So if you have a question or comment, caller, you on the air?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam,
Walaikum
ma'am.
salam.
All praises due to Allah. I had to pull over. I'm driving. To say all praises due to Allah and happy Father's Day to the both of you and to all of the brothers of Pro. However, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us that every day is Father's Day and that you are the original man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, and the God of the universe. So I'm just listening and just thinking back to the times that you all are talking about and remembering Brother Ahmeer Carr. And I must say that you have come a long ways, everyone. So keep up the excellent work that you are doing, and all praises due to Allah, and may Allah continue to bless you, all the brothers of Crow and the sisters. And we're going to rebuild this world because Allah has separated us, have given us time to realize that we can do for ourselves what we have other people to do for us. So may Allah continue to bless you, bless the founders of Crow, and all of the members.
Thank you, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yeah, it was dear sister Amina Muhammad, so we really appreciate that call. You know, and I'm thinking about the beauty of what we're doing right now. I mean, who would have thought that, you know, because we've been behind the scenes for so long, but one thing about it, Brother Mandene and his genius always going back to the show, when we first started doing the shows, all the shows were Muhammad and Friends. They just had different producers.
Yes, sir.
All of us were the producer of it. So again, with Sister Kim, she saw that we could get a series. So we were already doing all these shows, and I think they may have came to her with that idea. So we started, Muhammad and Friends was our flagship show, so that's what we started doing. But we started doing other shows via Brother Mandene. You had Message of the Black Man, Brother Rahman had Political Talk. I think I had Outside Politics. We had Georgia Love Yourself. There were some other shows that elude me right now. Sometimes we would just make up a name of the show the day before, you know, depending on how the wind blew or who we was dealing with. But it just showed what he was trying to do, and he would test. He would have everybody produce, not just produce, direct, do the camera work, do the audio. Want to make sure somebody was always able to do each position, so he would never be held hostage, or we would never be held hostage in the future. So he wasn't just thinking about the moment; he was thinking about in the future as well. And then it came a time when he used to test different people out as far as hosting, you know, just to see. And he would always, you know, I'm pretty sure he told you this, but I know he told me this personally when I first started coming out. You know, record yourself, you know, speaking about the teachers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But I never liked listening to my voice.
Me neither.
Yeah, but there was, it's not vanity, but it's just to critique yourself. And again, having that, he would have the camera up inside a Crow, and we would film each other and, you know, practice talking or interviewing each other. So all of that always played. It was little seeds being dropped early on. You know, even, you know, in the infancy stage of doing the TV work. So it just always showed the futuristic thinking of the brother, even to the point of, you know, leaving cable access and having our own, not having to worry about, you know, lobbying for studio time with other people, and having our own, and being able to tape whenever we want.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're absolutely right, because as you're sitting there talking, I was just thinking about even before we had any TV show, when people would visit. I remember Kwame Ture, and what was the couple, their last name was Hare.
Nathan Hare.
Nathan and Julia Hare. Put them before the camera and let them give a testimony of what they saw at Crow and things like that. And just listening to Sister Mina, it take me back to when I first came with all of us, you know, and thankful to Allah when we would get them suits on credit, you know. She'd be the one to take care of them pants for us, man. And I thank her for that.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was a one-stop shopping. Jack, you get life insurance, a suit, just in case you had to get buried in that suit too. So, you know, we would go up to the Goodwill and get some shirts before we, you know, became big shots and started going elsewhere again. But it was just, you look back and you reflect back on those times, and you just have to say, all praise is due to Allah. But I think about our longevity in doing these shows, man, and how long we've been doing it. And you know, those tapes, he would always call them a little bit about a lot of things. You know, those tapes, and it's so much. And it's probably, and I know George has been trying to go through them and convert some of them, and he's barely scratched the surface. I mean, it's all down the street and at Brother Munir's home, all these different boxes and things, all upstairs and inside of Crow, even upstairs over the studio, just boxes of, you know, VHS tapes and 3/4-inch tapes and all this information. We're just barely just scratching the surface on the history that we have. And I think, you know, as young people, we really took it for granted what we was what we were involved in, man.
Yes,
but you know, but the longevity. What he used to always say, longevity has its place. And we've been doing these shows a long, long time, and it just pivot slightly. I have to say this with saying that longevity has its time. We got skin in the game. We got a lot of skin in the game. We've been doing the shows. It's been a who's who. We went from having to look for people, you know, lobbying to get people on the show, to coming to a point in time where we would have to humbly just tell people, you know what, we can't get you right now. You know, we have to line you up later on. You know, I mean, I remember this story, not a story, it's a situation we all remember 9/11, when 9/11 hit. And Brother Munir, we was well into doing the shows at that time, but we were deep into it. We had already interviewed different heads of the FBI and the Secret Service during that time, and you know, definitely had a relationship with the fire department and the police department. But during that time, you know, Muslims was persona non grata. You know, you was all, they didn't care what kind of Muslims. But here we are, especially being followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, supposed to hate white people. But here is this man was able to get this particular show, and we may just have to pull that just to play it, just to show the significance of it. We interviewed, at the time, Superintendent Hillard, who was over the police, James Joyce, who was over the fire department. He was sitting right here. Went and talked to the Secret Service and the FBI and the ATF. And it was one, I can't remember if it was McChesney. It was McChesney, because we couldn't go upstairs this particular time. We've been up to our office before, but this particular time, due to security issues, we had to do the interview down. But think about that. They agreed to do the interview, but we did it in the lobby. She had a young woman flanking her, of course. I'm quite sure she had a Glock on her side, but she did that interview. But that was a significant show. So just that alone. So we've been doing this for over 30 years. You know, Maria Pappas would send us a letter every year. And so we've interviewed countless people. You know, in particular, we're in the political season now. And so we've interviewed a lot of politicians in Chicago, in the state of Illinois, and outside the country. And you know, black people have a tendency, when they run for office, I know white people do it, I get it, that comes with the territory, but when black people do it, you just should be shaming yourself. And what I'm saying is, they have this thing called, they have to wait till they see the urban market budget. In other words, we gotta see what kind of money we had to show it on your black shows. And when black people do it, and you know our track record, it's insulting. Somebody had the nerve to say to me recently that they need to see the numbers of viewers that actually watch. I know, your eyebrow just raised. I'm like, this person here, you got a lot of nerve. A lot of nerve. I mean, we've had, again, I'm telling you, we've had to turn down white folks for coming on the show. I know you would love to have some of this. I mean, from the Sheriff Sheens to the, Richard Dick Devine, all the mayors of the city of Chicago, all the different heads of the FBI, the Secret Service, the different governors, the different people that ran for governors in Illinois. We traveled the world. We got skin in the game. And you want to see numbers on us and you just getting on the plantation?
Yeah.
That's insulting.
Well, that just shows they incompetence.
Yeah.
That's just really what that shows. And somebody should try to pull their coattail. Because,
believe me, I tattletale. Somebody gonna pull their coattail.
Yes,
We
sir.
got a caller though. Caller, you've been waiting patiently. You on the air.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Walaikum
salam.
salam.
I'm enjoying the show.
Praise be to
And
God.
as a member of Crow, first I would like to say Happy Father's Day to you brothers and brothers members of Crow who are fathers, and to you in particular, Mandene, for the awesome post that you often post about black fathers. It's most encouraging, and I really appreciate seeing them.
Yes.
As far as being a member of Crow, I've been blessed to be a member of Crow for over 30 years now, and it has been the backbone or the anchor and all those things that solidified me. It comes from Crow and the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm familiar with the history that you brothers are speaking about, the cable TV, the Malcolm X thing. That's what solidified my wanting to be a member of the Crow. When the time at Malcolm X College that you spoke of, Ahmeer and Mandene. So, and not to mention, our deceased brother who went on, Brother Manir, he really guided this ship and steered it through a lot of rocky situations. And we got a lot of memories. You can look at the walls of the studio and the main sanctuary was nothing but pictures, thousands of pictures with people we've met over the years. And I wonder where these people are now. I imagine some are gone, but it's been a wonderful ride, and I would hope that I can continue to be a member of Crow because I know you dig. So I'm like,
Walaikum salam.
But yes, sir. But we, you know, he wouldn't have it any other way for us to continue this work. You know, I mean, if we can be spooky, can you just imagine we not doing this work and he would get, a report.
Yes,
You know
sir.
how bad we would get cursed out right now after all that was put in,
Yes,
put
sir.
into us. I
Yes,
mean, it
sir.
was
And
even. I mean, if it was a young brother that showed just a bit of interest in this, he would always take him under his wing.
Yes, sir.
Even to the point where you and I know that they didn't have, they wasn't working with a full deck.
Yes,
and
sir.
you would even try to tell him, you talk to him like he got sense,
Yes, sir.
but he still tried to work
Yes,
with him
sir.
though.
He believed it. He believed.
He believed in the
Yeah.
brotherhood. He believed in replacements. He
Yes,
wasn't
sir.
a selfish man. We're talking about Brother Mandene now. He wasn't a selfish man. He would always tie things in with movies. And it would sound harsh, but he was always looking for what he called replacement killers.
Mm-hmm.
But, killer's not a bad word. Ask Boston Celtics because Steph Curry is a killer and he killed you. So, but this is a serious work, man. And, we've endured a lot.
Yes, sir.
And we saw a lot. It's a lot on us, but too much is given, much is required, and I wouldn't have it any other way, brother. And it's a beautiful work, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. On this battlefield by your side, brother. I know
Yes, sir.
you got your three the hard way. You
Yes,
got
sir.
your name will live on, but I know you want them to step up in another way as well. But
Yes, sir.
with it being Father's Day, brother, how has the teachings of the messenger helped you as far as your fatherhood journey?
All right, it's been everything as far as when I raised them as little boys because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gives you a standard, to live by, and when you live by that standard yourself, number one, you can be an example to them, and you can show them, you can show them worth ethic, how to dress, how to treat women, how to conduct yourself at home and in public. And so that's everything. And then it's two things they kind of, what they call yin and yang. You say there's no compulsion in religion,
Yes, sir.
but there's also a saying, make all men and boys FOI.
Yes, sir.
So you have to try to correlate that balance, you know, as they get older. You know, you can't make people do everything, but and then again you can. So
You know,
so that's the thing there.
You ever see the movie Fences with
Yes,
Denzel
sir.
Washington?
Yes, sir.
I think about the only thing that seemed to remember, well, two things. We have to talk about the other part. But I know this: whenever Viola Davis started crying and snot come out her nose, she really doing some acting there.
Yes,
But
sir.
it was a particular scene when his son, Denzel Washington's son, in the movie. Said, how could you never say you love me, man? It's like, I don't have to love you.
Yeah, you showed them.
Yeah.
You showed them.
Yeah, you know, Chris Rock said something in one of his specials, how the disrespect for fathers, you know, nobody ever say, man, you know, it sure is warm in here. Thanks for taking care of that heat, Dad. You know, it sure is cool in here. Thanks for taking care of that air conditioner, that electricity. I sure can't read with all this good light, you know. Nothing to say, not that fathers are looking for that type of recognition, but we want more than just a big piece of chicken.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? So, you know, but I know you a worker, you're not a doer. I guess you way past your time is talking. But
sir.
man, I didn't want this opportunity to get by me, man. It was on my heart and mind, and I knew our brother was going to be out for the count and wasn't going to be available for the show. So I reached out to you. You said you'd be more than happy to come on with me, man. But
Yes, sir.
but we got to do more of this, man. We got a
Yes,
lot
sir.
of work ahead of us, and we got to go out there and save our people. But we got to remind our people that's here in house that we got work to do, and they got to learn to appreciate the work that's being done and what was done on their behalf. And just because we're about 3 years out from the transition of our brother, don't think that spirit has gone anywhere. He has birthed and groomed men and women that love him and love the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and love this organization more than life itself. So we'll go to war no matter what, whether internally or externally, to make sure the name, the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and also the work of what Brother Majied did on behalf of Messenger Elijah Muhammad goes on, because you got to have an example.
Yes, sir.
And it's not to try to make something spooky or extraterrestrial or divine that's not necessary, but you got to, you know, angels are men and women.
That's
You
right.
know, that's what the Quran says.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, so if it had been an Arab, you know, we wouldn't have accepted him.
Yes,
It was
sir.
somebody that looked like us.
Yes, sir.
You know, so that's the beauty of what we do, brother. So I thank you for letting me
sir.
indulge your time. Any
Thank you
closing
for-
comments, man?
Man, just thank you for inviting me, and I just want to compliment you. You know, since Brother Man's transition, man, you have really picked up the pace, you know,
praise
with the
be to
radio
God.
show and everything else you're doing, and just got to get out there and get with you a little more.
brother.
That's my pledge to you.
We gonna
Yes,
get
sir.
them, brother. I know where your heart is at.
Yes, sir.
The difference is between you and others, you know, your heart is there, but the time may not be there. The time is there with other people, but it's not in their heart. So it's a big difference, you know. So that's what we have to understand. When you're doing this type of work, you got to give more than just a couple of hours during the week. This is a 24/7 operation right here, man. So this real talk. So
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate it, my brother.
Yes,
So
sir.
may Allah continue to bless you, and I'm gonna let you get off the stage. I see them sweat beads starting to form. So we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna be back. But remember, you can call in. The number is 773-434-6625. We'll be back on the other side.
It's against your own health. That hog creates more diseases in your body than you have any dreams of. In fact, about it, stop eating the hog, eat right, eat the proper food, and you will find 75% of your sickness leaving you. Yes, just try it.
And we are back. Excuse me. To Muhammad and friends, I'm your host for this particular show, Brother Mandene T. Muhammad. And you can give us a call, 773-434-6625. Again, that's 773-434-6625. I know it's a lot of events, a lot of things that's going on today. So I really appreciate those of you who are taking time out of your schedule to watch us and support us in that way. But of course, if you're watching us via social media, YouTube and Facebook, make sure that you like and share the program and put it on out there for us. The Munir Muhammad Show airs every day, Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock and Monday through Saturday at 12, all on Channel 25. And our flagship show, Muhammad and Friends, every Sunday night at 7:30 on Channel 19, and then it repeats 2:30 on Channel 19. Other ways that you can get this good word is via Crow Radio. I think you just go to crow.net and check us out there. You can also on social media. You can follow Crow TV and Crow the archives page on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And of course, again, what's the other show? I did Sister Akila Ali, Nothing But Elijah, every Sunday night at 5:30, and on Blog Talk Radio. And I think I covered everything. And of course, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, Elevator Talk. We elevate the conversation. So with that, I'm so honored to be able to talk to my brother Shareef Muhammad, owner of Asiatic Martial Arts.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But first and foremost, Crow member and proud follower of Messenger Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Assalamu alaikum. So, I haven't been shaking anybody's hand. Forgive me, sir.
That's all right. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. So look, man. Yeah, we've talked on the radio before, but this is our first
Sure.
time on TV. But this is an honor for me. But I have to say, leading off that, on tape, I just want to point out your growth in this work. And as far as your study, you've always been a studier. Your study, your dissertation, the way you can smoothly, defend the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I know a lot of times we get to go and have these back and forths on social media, but you're always tactful, even in person. But you're stern in your tactfulness. But it shows that your growth in your studying, as far as the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I wanted to just acknowledge that, my brother. But but we can just quickly run through it.
Sure.
Your history of coming into this teaching.
Yes, sir. Well, actually, it started after I finished college. I finished college in '94, and I would catch the show occasionally. I didn't know what time it came on, but I'd be at home. I'd flicking through the channels, and I see some Muslims on TV. I think by that point I had read Message to the Black Man and maybe Fall of America. Well, I started reading Fall of America. And so I was interested, I was curious. So anytime I would see Muslims on TV, I would just watch for. I think I watched the show for probably a year, or whenever I could catch it, because I didn't know what time it came on. I would just happen to catch it, and right after the Million Man March, it was when right around the time of the Million Man March when I first really started watching it, And then a year later, in 1996, September 96 is when I came. And so 26 years I've been here now.
Wow.
And it'll be 26 years in September. And I've seen so many things, and I've learned so much.
Yes, sir.
You know, when you the messenger said, when you first come into teaching, like a fish freshly caught from the lake. So you get excited and enthusiastic about the teaching, and you really, you think you know how to defend, but you really don't. You know, it's kind of like in martial arts training. You know, when you first start learning a few things, you think you know how to protect yourself, but you really don't. You go out there and get your butt kicked.
Yeah.
And so it's you know, then you get to a point where you can handle things a little smoothly because you're confident in your own ability. And it's the same thing with the teachings. You know, you get confident in your understanding, and your belief is unshakable because it's stronger than just I believe this. It's been proven. It's been tested.
Yes, sir.
And so when you approach a conversation, I don't even call them debates because there is no debate really when it comes to truth. But when you approach a conversation about the teachings from the standpoint of it doesn't matter what you say, I'm prepared. You know, you don't get angry. You know what I mean? You may get frustrated with some people because, man, are you listening to anything I said?
Yeah.
But I've always come to the conclusion, came to the conclusion that debates are pointless because you're never going to change anybody's belief. Somebody's just going to believe what they believe. So it's better to just point out facts, point out truth, stick with what the messenger taught specifically, not my own opinion or idea of what he taught. Just this is what the messenger said. This the messenger said that. Now what you say, that's your opinion.
Yes, sir.
But this is what the messenger said.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so that's how I always approach these conversations. And you know, being here, of course, as we study the teachings, we study it always from the messenger's perspective.
Yes, sir.
It's not the teachings that's taught by any of the co-founders or any of the other people that are in the organization. It's always, and if there's ever any question or doubt or about somebody's understanding, we refer back to the book. Well, the messenger said on this page he said this, on this page he said that, and then it's okay, and then nobody argues with that because it's straight from the mouth of God and His messenger. And so when you approach conversations from that perspective, dealing strictly with what the messenger taught, people have a hard time debating it because they're not arguing with me at that point.
Yeah,
they're arguing with God and His messenger.
Teach. We do have a
Yes,
phone
sir.
call. We got a phone call. Caller, you on the air?
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Mandene.
Walaikum salam, brother Mike.
Alaykum salam.
And assalamu alaikum, Brother Shareef.
Alaykum salam, sir.
I just wanted to call in, just listening to my brothers talking, just realizing the importance, as you were saying earlier, Brother Mandene, of the legacy of the show and the legacy Brother Munir left us through the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I hope our people, I know it's a lot of distractions out there, but I hope our people come to realize what a torchlight and what a blessing it is to have an institution and organization like Crow that's still managing to function without fail 3 years after we lost Brother Munir, and to have the institution just keep going on, same work ethic, same due diligence, and the same, like the North Star, just never moves. And that's just such a blessing to our people that don't quite get it. But it's a lot of distractions out there. But I have to applaud you, Brother Mandene. You look good sitting in that seat, by the way, as do Brother Jamil and everybody else who sits there. Once you got the teachings, it don't matter who's sitting in the seat. The wisdom going to flow through you. But to watch the work ethic of you, Sister Kim, Brother George, Sister Diana, I mean, you guys are really doing a yeoman's work. You know, I wish I can help more in that regard, but I'm just glad to be a part of that institution and that organization. And hopefully one day our people, the benefit that will come to the realization that there's actually no way out. So I just wanted to call and hopefully lend some words of encouragement. Because I'm with you, brother. I may not be there all the time. I'm there every week, but I may not be there on the radio show and TV show. But keep up the good work. You know, you guys are really putting it out. many of us and many other people who may not say it appreciate the work that Crow is doing. And we the only torchlight we got left. If we don't do it, it's not going to get done. So I just want to say I'm enjoying what's happening today, and I'm so proud to be a Muslim follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and a follower and a member of the institution and organization called Crow. Keep up the good work. People are listening. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. I wanted to catch him before he left, but no, he may not be here every day, but his presence is felt.
Absolutely.
Every day when at night you pulling that light come on, and the building don't take care of itself.
Jeez.
It has to be maintained. So we got workers behind the scenes of this show. We got workers behind the scenes of Crow, the organization, but it's one unit, and everything has to be. Maintenance has to take place.
Absolutely.
You know, so he's definitely a major part of that. So I thank you personally, brother Mike, and I thank brother Rockman as well, because I know he's in that same vein. So we want to give the people their flowers now while they can still smell them.
Yes, sir.
So, but brother, listening to you talking, reflecting back on what you were saying about your journey into this teaching, what and you said it took you a year. You watched the show for a year. I want you
Right.
so it's a good thing the doors ain't closed
Teach.
before you decide to come on through.
Right.
So it took you a year. So, and even with brother Mike had said this before also. You know, he said he came, left, and then came back.
Right.
You know, so as others may have, but with you, what was it that was like, you know what, this it right here?
You know, it was one moment. I think I was having a conversation with some people at work, and they were talking. One lady, they were talking about Christmas or something, and I was like, "Can you show me where Jesus was born on December 25th?" And she said, "We know that's not his birthday, but we celebrate it anyway." I was like, "That don't even make sense." It's like you know your birthday is in September, but you want to celebrate it on a different day. It's like this doesn't make sense. And then she said, I just thank God for slavery, because it got us out of that voodoo or whatever she said. And I said, okay, that's it. All right. I said I left, and I left work. I worked it was a mortgage company right down the street. I left there and I came straight here.
Yeah.
It was I think a Monday or Tuesday, and you and Brother Munir were here, and Brother Munir met me at the door, and he searched me without searching me. You know, he gave me a verbal search, and it was weird because I felt like I was being searched. He searched my mind and my spirit to see where I was really, and he just said, "Come on back on Sundays," and I came back that Sunday. I got my membership that day, and it's just been a love affair ever since.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I remember one day. I'm sorry, this is the story. I was still going out clubbing. I had stopped drinking, but I was still clubbing every now and then. And you called me on a Sunday morning, and I had been out all night the Saturday night. You called me to see if I was coming to class. Yeah. I'm up. I'm just getting dressed right now. I was out of it. So I just got dressed and came because I said I was gonna come. You know, and but you know, it was just what kept me here is just the delivery of the message. You know, it wasn't that. It was the message, of course, in and of itself, but it was just the way that everything was presented.
Yes, sir.
It was there was no buffer between me and the message.
Yeah.
You know, so nothing was held back, and everything was given I don't want to say the good and the bad, but you know, the bad meaning like people like Malcolm and Wallace and the hypocrites, the people who turned on the messenger, that history that sometimes would turn people away who are new. I got a tape of Wallace on a radio talk show by mistake. It was mislabeled. It was supposed to be something else, and I popped it in. And I was like, that don't sound. It was Wallace on this talk show with Joe Rainey, I think it was. Yeah. And, you know, and I was fairly new, but had it been that, listening to that tape, somebody who's like brand new into the teachings or who's just trying to learn probably could have been turned off by the messenger.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't know any better. But it just made me more interested because I said, this is something about what he's saying don't sound right, especially when Joe Rainey started questioning him and challenging him on what he said. He said, no, that's not what so-and-so said. Malcolm said this and you saying this. And somebody's not telling the truth, you know. And it was just interesting. And I finally eventually got the right tape, but it was just, I'll never forget that moment. Yeah. And it really just, you know, things like that. And just, you know, just the history.
I got to say, and I feel you on that one. When you were talking about when I placed the call to you about coming out, it reminds me of, as I stated earlier, you're a martial arts instructor and a very good one. And I've been your student a couple of times. And I had different stints. I did this last particular time. You pulled me to the side. You was like, you look at me in my eye. You was like, you serious this time, brother? And in my heart, I was, man. But it was right before I opened up my store.
Yes, sir.
So the time wasn't there. And it plays on me to this day, man, because I really was. But I say all that to say, it's so it is with this teaching. You know, we still, you know, like Ahmeer stated, you stated, I stated, even once you in it, you know, it's like what Brother Mandene used to say, you know, when you get away with something and you realize that lightning is not going to strike you. You know, then it's like that's when the real challenge takes place. That's when that real mosque or temple mindset comes into play.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you have to be accountable for oneself.
Right.
And so that's what you came into. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, sir. And that was just saying that's the one of the other beautiful aspect of this organization is that while there are brothers that will pull your coattails, say, hey, brother, you know, you slipping a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of this self-accusing spirit is what really keeps you straight. And if you can keep yourself, you know, you recognize the God in you that's going to punish you for your own misdeeds. You know, not that there's an external God that is up in the sky somewhere that's going to punish you. You will feel that punishment yourself if you're sincere in what you believe when you start getting off track, and it'll spank you back on track. You know, your own self-accusing spirit will get you back on track, and that's what. And I wouldn't have gotten that anyplace else, really. I don't think, but it's been ingrained in us here. That you must become a temple of yourself. So meaning that you have to be the captain and the minister of your own soul, of your own self, to keep yourself on the straight path.
You know, as you were talking, something Brother Mandene used to always tell the brothers. He said, if you're doing something wrong, don't pull your brother in.
Teach.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, if you out there doing something, you know you're doing it. Don't pull your brother into it.
Right.
You know. So, and that, you know, that's one thing that always laid on me. That, and not embarrassing, not even me, but not embarrassing the organization.
Exactly right.
That used to always almost like disappointing, you know, a parent. So I never wanted to embarrass the operation. So.
Right.
Now, and as you said, and Ahmeer said, it's not that we came on in and we were, you know, became super Muslims and angels at that point. It's, as he would always say, it's a washing machine.
That's right.
But the more you're around those of like minds that's doing good, even if they may be doing other things when they're not around, if you have a conscience, it's going to play on you.
Absolutely.
And if you're doing other things, you know, especially if it's something physical, you're still smoking or you're drinking. If you're around other people that's definitely not doing it,
right,
your senses pick up. You can smell that.
That's right.
You know, you can sense that. You can sense that. You know, the sluggishness. It's like putting that fat back. the uncleanness is gonna come up.
Teach.
You know, it's gonna come up. So man, that's why you wanna. It's something that we used to joke about. Silas Muhammad it was this clip of this particular lecture. He would say, He said, if you're feeling weak, or you feeling down, if you feeling something wrong, get on the phone, call your Muslim brother. You know, and you never know. You didn't have to necessarily say, hey man, I'm about to take a drink, or you may say directly what's going on.
Sure.
But just hearing that brother, knowing that it's somebody else conscious, somebody trying to do right,
Right.
it may prick your conscience for
That's
you
right.
not to do what you want to do.
That's right.
You know, and build up that strength. So, yeah. In closing, brother, you got the floor. I know we got about a minute left, and I'm trying to make sure I close.
Yes,
our
sir.
problem.
Well, I just wanted to say, you know, because the brothers are just saying Happy Father's Day and all that kind of thing, it's been a blessing for me to have so many examples of fatherhood in the organization. The founders, Brother Earl, Brother Ahmeer, Brother Nazar, Brother Jamil, Brother Thomas Amal, so many brothers I've seen raise sons.
Yeah.
That it helped me to raise my son, and that's one of the things I'm grateful for in this organization.
Yeah, he's growing into a fine young man.
Oh, praise
and,
be
he's
to
getting
Allah.
tall as you,
Yes,
tall as
sir.
you too. So
I
you
still
got
punch him in the chest.
just punch him in the chest. You got to let him know that it's real.
Yes,
So
sir.
look, I really appreciate you all taking time out and checking us out. But we stream live every Sunday at 2:30 and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Check us out. Muhammad and Friends every Sunday night at 7:30. Munir Muhammad Show every day, Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock, Monday through Saturday at 12 o'clock, all on Channel 25. And I'm just going to close off. If I say anything else, they're probably going to give me the rap sound. So I want to just thank you again. Thank you so much for listening, and I pray Allah continue to guide you in the light of understanding as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.